Dennis Pitzenbarger.
Fester Adams from Phoenix, Arizona.
What'd you bring for us to look at today?
What I brought for you today, sir, is a 1986 Toyota pickup. You might be thinking, well, what's so important about a 1986 Toyota pickup? But it is one of the trucks that have single-handedly changed the way mini trucks have been customized and seen from that day forward.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm excited to see it. Guys, bring it up on the lift here. Well, that is a 80s, 90s mini truck if I've ever seen one.
Low-cost vehicles like the humble 1986 Toyota pickup were the basis for the California mini truck scene. The Toyota's anonymous good looks were the perfect blank canvas for everything from hydraulic beds, classic candy paint jobs, and elaborate custom murals. Tricked-out minis are back in style, and there's even an online Hall of Fame featuring the best of the best.
Man, very cool truck.
Thank you.
Tell me the story how this car entered your life.
I was a young gentleman that used to read a magazine called Mini Truckin' Magazine. And one month here is this exact same truck sitting on the cover of Mini Truckin' Magazine.
Like this actual truck?
Yes, it was this
wow.
truck.
Really?
It showed up in, I believe it was December of '96. And I remember sitting there right at the mailbox going, what happened? This was wild. Fast forward, about 10 years ago, I ended up finding this exact same truck sitting on a used car lot in Marietta, Georgia.
Was it in this condition when you found it?
No, it needed a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's a lot of cars out there I'd love to have from magazines. What did you buy it for?
Don't remember what I told my wife, but I want to say it was roughly $13,000 that I spent to buy it.
Okay. How much money do you think you put into it to resurrect it to the way we see it now?
Roughly $5,000 or $6,000.
Okay. What do you think the value of the little Toyota is now?
I would have to guess 60,000.
Okay.
Now I'm going to turn it over to one of our appraisers, Randy, who is a specialist in unusual and unique cars.
How you doing? Randy Carlson. This has got to be one of the most iconic mini trucks of all time. There were a lot of really talented hands involved with the build of this, and it was really built as a showpiece. I can find flaws in it. I can see that there was some damage to the hood. You know, I see some chips here and there. That's going to detract some value. I'd love to see underneath this hood. Can we lift this off and see the motor?
Yes, we can.
Now, I've got to ask, does it run and drive?
No, it does not.
It's a bit of a value drop in my eyes.
I could make it run and drive, but...
No, I totally understand. It gets to a point where it's a show car. It's not comfortable to drive it. You're nervous about damaging it, and it becomes rolling art. So all of this firewall and everything, this was repainted. Is
Correct.
that something you've done?
Yes.
I mean, I can fault you a little bit for not quite getting the color the same as this.
Yeah, they're a little bit different.
It looks beautiful, though. It's very show-worthy. Let's take a look inside. So graphics all the way through, floorboards, dash.
Took some seats out of a boat.
Right. I see a Super Trap exhaust,
Yep.
another era-correct piece. I mean, that adds a ton of value. Now, I see you're missing a panel here. Is this a piece that you've got for it?
It was a piece that was missing before I bought it.
I mean, it's definitely a hole in the work of art. You know, I think that's kind of a value hurt. To me, it's a hole in the painting.
Well, I gotta tell you guys, I found my favorite part of this truck, which is this little tribute to the cause. You know, JON KOSMOSKI was one of the original guys that was from the world of custom painting in my book. It's neat to see him be part of this.
That's really cool. I mean, this was the House of Kolor ad car. I mean, it is a painting or a portrait of the custom car scene during that period. And that's phenomenal.
Now, you bought it for 13, put another 5 into it, so you're in at about 18,
Yeah.
and you were hoping the value to be about 60, was that right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, you know what? It's time to look at Randy and see what he comes up with.
You ready for this?
Maybe.
You've done a fantastic job of preserving it. You know, you've got some flaws with it, some damage on the hood, the missing panel here in the back. You know, it is not what it was when it was freshly done. And it's a limited market right now. How many people would want to have this if they can't use it? I mean, it's art. But 80s and 90s car culture is really starting to rise in popularity. I think it's worth less today than it will be in the future. But my job here is to put a value on it today. Now I'm going to put a value today of $100,000. No, now wait. I mean, there's more. I really think this thing has potential in the future to be worth many times that
You're kidding.
in the right form.
$100,000? This has turned into something that far exceeded my expectations. Just please promise me one thing. Don't tell my wife.
I think it's too late for that.
It's a very rewarding experience to know that something that I started by myself, just out of the love for the truck, has grown into something that's far encompassed anything I ever imagined.
Well, that's another sticker shock in the rear view. But before we go, here's the final tally.